everybody, and welcome to Poland Daily Travel. You might think that I am somewhere far away, melted away into the forest, but it's not true. I'm actually in northeastern Warsaw in a borough called Brudno, where we're about to discover the site of the first modern settlement, anyway, in Warsaw. Now, it was created right here in this particularly sheltered area in the forest, so benefit of being impenetrable to attack, but also on a small river that would make its way into larger tributaries that could then make their way to the Wisła and provide at least, if not water for drinking, water for cooking for sure, and water for boiling, because you couldn't, drinking the water could make you very ill back then. At any rate, this, where Kasia is filming me from, is the top of a barn that goes around, makes a sort of oblong circle, or an oblong enclosure, we can say, and that is indeed what's left of this fortress from the beginning of the end of the 9th century to the beginning of the 10th century, somewhere in there. That's what they think. Now, the fellows came out here, I guess, about 100 and some years ago. Beginning of the 20th century, this place was discovered, and people thought, oh, well, what is this perfectly formed circle, and why? On the edge of a swamp. It looks like a pretty good defensive position. And indeed it is, and you'll see that as we continue our walk around. It's nice and accessible here. You've got the steps walking around. There's water over here, so you don't want to go in that part. It's quite swampy, this forest, but still very beautiful on a lovely day in the autumn. The Polish golden autumn is coming soon to a forest near you, to some trees near you. At any rate, this place is fascinating because there is some sense that this may have been established by Vikings, because of course the Vikings were raiding down into Central Europe, raiding through Eastern Europe as well, as far, Kiev was a Viking founded city, and they used to go down the Dnieper to the Black Sea, and then doing their usual sort of hijinks, robbing, pillaging, and no doubt other things not so pleasant. And then this would have been an outpost on their way, if that's in fact true. We're not exactly sure, but there is a theory that it was Vikings who were here. They found lots of artifacts, and they've been able to, from those artifacts, to reconstruct what life might have been like. Finding, there were several guard posts, towers going around, and inside you would have seen quite a lot of life going on. All right, enjoy the trailer, and be back after this short break. Okay, everybody, welcome back. And you can see I'm standing in the middle of this old settlement, Viking or otherwise. So it wasn't huge, was it? But then the people were smaller back then. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't huge, but it was, the place of last defense. There would have been you know, settlements outside as well. At any rate, in the late Middle Ages, this was a pretty safe place. There would have been some wooden palisades on the top, wooden towers, and within here you would have had some dwelling places, certainly the main meeting lodge and things like that, and probably stalls with people where people could pick up what they needed for daily life, mostly food, I would think. The Middle Ages is often called the Dark Ages, and there's a reason. Not a lot happened in terms of change. Things were pretty stable and rather, well, we know more happened now than we used to think, but still, it was called the Dark Ages because there's not a lot written about this time, and actually not a huge amount happened. There wasn't a huge amount of building and things like that, but as you can see, this was a fairly simple settlement, and a long distance away from what was about to happen 100 years from now, which was the beginning of the building of the great cathedrals. For example, on the islands in the river in Wrocław, in the Odra River, and in Poznan, and in when you had the foundation of the Polish state. So this was a fairly basic community. They mostly subsisted on a bit of farming and a lot of gathering, and hunting, of course. That was it, and then some trading. At any rate, now it's worth it to come here and dream, to take a walk into the forest, and then stop off and think, well, my goodness, this has been here 1,000 years. And one thing you can say, they built it to stay. They built it to last. This is a serious berm. It's a serious sort of mound extended into this circle that you can see. There's an entrance over here. You don't have to come up over the wall. And well, as I say, one can dream about what life might have been like for these people. And they haven't come and created a sort of a permanent scansion here. A scansion is like a reconstruction of past ways of living, buildings and other things related to that time, to the time portrayed. But they could. Certainly they come here, and there are different festivals from time to time. And Vikings are mentioned, but who knows? Okay. Anyway, I'm standing here in Brudno, Stare Brudno, which means old Brudno, in northeastern Warsaw. The Vistula River is over there somewhere, and we are standing in the origin place of modern Warsaw. How about that? See you next time. I'm Will Richardson. Appreciate you watching.